Wow, Gracious, the king of YouTube stunts, really outdid himself this time. This time there were no crazy obstacle courses or giving away money. This challenge was all about using your mind. He decided to spend 7 whole days all alone. Imagine a plain white room, totally quiet, with no sounds from the outside. Gracious volunteered to be completely by himself. The rules were easy to understand, but really tough. No talking to anyone, no phones, no internet, nothing to do. Just 4 walls, a bed, and the things he needed to survive. He would get food through a slot in the wall, but he didn't know when it would come. Even mealtime wasn't regular. Why would anyone want to do this? Gracious, who always likes a good challenge, wanted to see what being alone for a long time does to your mind. He knew it would be hard, but it was way harder than he thought. He had no idea how tough this challenge would really be. Being alone for a long time is serious business. It's a punishment they use in jails for a reason. Being alone for too long can really mess with your head. People like being around other people. It's just how we are. We like talking to people, doing things with others, and just being together. If you take that away from someone for too long, bad things can happen. Imagine how quiet it would be and how every hour feels the same. Your mind gets bored and starts to trick you. You don't even know what time it is anymore. You can't tell if it's day or night, and you're just stuck with your own thoughts. You might start seeing things that aren't there, feeling scared for no reason, and feeling really sad. Gracious knew this could happen. He had doctors watching him all the time just in case something went wrong. But even though he was safe, it was still really hard on his mind. This experiment tested how strong his mind was and showed how bad being alone can be. Because he was so bored and sad, Gracious had to think of things to do. He needed to keep his mind busy and feel somewhat normal. Even though things were really tough, he found ways to deal with it. That shows how strong people can be. He counted the tiles on the wall and learned every part of the room. He did handstands and walked around in circles just to keep his body moving and his mind busy. He even talked to himself, pretending he was talking to other people just so it wouldn't be so quiet. His best way to deal with it was probably using his imagination. He would close his eyes and pretend he was somewhere else. He'd imagine walking in a park, feeling the sun, or eating with friends. Pretending like this, even for a little while, helped him forget about where he really was. After 7 long days, it was finally over. The door opened, and Gracious came out, squinting because it was so bright. You could see how happy he was to see his friends, but you could tell it was really hard on him. He was skinnier, and his voice was scratchy because he hadn't talked. It was even harder on his mind. He talked about how happy he was to talk to people again, and how good it felt to feel the sun. Things he used to think were normal now felt really special. Gracious's challenge wasn't just some YouTube video. It showed how important it is to be around other people and how our minds can get messed up if we don't have what we need. What happened to him shows what it's like for lots of people who are forced to be alone, and how important it is to treat people better and understand what being alone does to them.